after watching the Facebook or YouTube, or you're watching a replay, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to cover a content strategy to grow your business, probably bigger and faster than you ever thought possible, to attract people directly to your company. Okay, whether it's you're looking for just personal branding, I can show you how to do that. You'll kind of get the idea. Whether it's your company, corporation, things like that. I'm gonna pull up a PowerPoint to go through this, so I stay on task here, just to make sure that everything you need is in front of you and you can view it. That way you can kind of take notes, follow along, and so on. So let me go ahead and pull my screen up, because I like to just jump right in and jump on this. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen. All right, real quick, I've been doing network or direct selling, networking. That's how I kind of got started into marketing about 24 years ago. Done very, very well. But most importantly, I got into internet marketing about 11 years ago, to the point that I've actually launched other companies. I get hired to do things, consulting, business consulting, help launch business companies and the whole 9 yards. And a lot of it I've done thousands of ad campaigns now on all the major platforms such as Google, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to kind of give you a marketing strategy on a company I own called Bidpoint. Now, Bidpoint, maybe you may not have ever heard of this. If you follow my stuff, you don't know I have this. But Bidpoint is a business solutions company for commercial businesses primarily, where we help them save money on gas, electric, internet, wireless, waste, that kind of thing. And we just rolled out recently a residential offering for our agents to go market, because there's so much money in it on solar. Okay. But what I want to do is I want to show you, this is a training on how I market. Okay. So how I'm going to, and what I'm already doing to get the word out there. Okay. Now, what's happening here is most people are looking to figure out the social media kind of puzzle, right? So what I'm going to cover is primarily content creation, what it's about, how it works, how to simplify it, how to distribute it, and then maybe throw out some tools for you. But what it'll do is, using this strategy, will begin to attract people to you. Like I literally, over the last 11 years, actually probably about the last 8 to be specific, more dialed in, I've used this strategy where I finally, all the pieces of the puzzle kind of came together to really ramp up all my businesses. And I've had people just nonstop come to me because I put relevant content out there, getting them the right message in front of the right people at the right time, talking about the right things. Now, if you ask yourself this question, would that help your business? If you had the right people talking about the right things at the right times that you wanted to be in front of, that helps, right? So that in today's day and age, we can do that. Now, let me jump one slide ahead and I'll go back. The purpose of this too is content basically becomes an employee that allows you to leverage yourself. It lives forever. They call it evergreen. It can be shared. It can be splintered. Splintered mean repurposed. It's SEO friendly. It's search friendly, and you don't have to pay it or babysit it. Okay. Now, what is content? Content is everything that you can push out there digitally, in my opinion, whether that's videos, and I want you to maybe take a screenshot of this: video, audio, blog posts, websites, PowerPoints, social posts, podcasts, PDFs, books, images, press releases. Whenever I'm getting ready for a campaign, the reason I'm showing you this is I recently launched solar with my company. So what I'm doing is when I think about these things, I'm thinking, how can I get the message of how much money's in solar with our company, how to become an agent in front, and get that message in front of the right people as fast as possible. So as an example, I will walk you through what I do. Okay. Now, I went through that. What I typically do is this. So let's start from the beginning. That was kind of a little, quick teaser, nutshell, what I have in my head. What I typically do is I think about my message. Okay. So I prepare in my mind, okay, who am I going after? What are some key terms, things I'm going to talk about? How do I answer, maybe some questions, objections, things like that. And then what I typically start with, my favorite thing to start with, is about a 30-minute, I call it a pillar piece of content video. I love to do video because that's where everything's moving, and it's and video can be easily splintered into multiple things versus if I just wrote a blog post and then try to go the other direction. So I typically like to make a video first. Usually it runs between 15 to 30 minutes, depending. And then what I do is I upload it to YouTube, I upload it to Facebook. I might even put it on Vimeo. I might put it on Rumble. I might put it on Patreon, whatever platforms are out there. I try to figure out how many multiple places can I place this. The other thing is if it's not a heavy graphic oriented presentation, I download the audio and I turn it into an MP3 to use on a podcast. And I'll show you that. I create audios. I used to do CDs. And then I used to, email out the MP3s, things like that. And in a lot of cases, I will take the audios or the videos, get them transcribed. Sometimes I even convert the original video into a blog post, okay? Because here's the thing is you want your distribution of your content to go out there. And the old school of way of everything is usually just word of mouth, person to person, hand things out, which was like Blockbuster. This is my analogy. Is Blockbuster worked at one time and was the big kid on the block. It is no longer a Blockbuster world. It is now a Netflix world. The new school of way of doing things is create content, let it go out there and kind of percolate. But then what I do is I use paid traffic, Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever else, to amplify that content. All right. So let's just jump into this. So here's my growth strategy. Okay. And these are the things we're going to cover. Everything comes down to traffic. Traffic meaning how many people eyeballs in front of something. I typically send them somewhere. You're walking a person through a journey. They land somewhere. You capture their information, whether it's an opt-in or just a retargeting pixel that's already automatically on this site. You build rapport, and then you make your proposal. Typically, people try to make proposal to, they don't have any traffic, so they have nobody to propose to, right? So what you're doing is you're having a situation where you have to put this recipe in the right order to make a good cake. Okay, you have to put this order in the right thing. So traffic, landing, capture, rapport, and proposal. So let's walk through it. Traffic has to do with there's two types of traffic. When I talk about traffic, I mean people that are looking at your stuff. There's organic, and then there's paid. Let's talk about organic first. Organic is the equivalent of you wanting to eat sweet corn, and you decide that you're going to plant a kernel of corn in the ground, water it, wait for the sun to shine, give it a few months to start to germinate, then you harvest it. Takes longer, right? Paid in today's day and age, in my opinion, is where it's at, because you can be so dialed in with all of the data that these platforms have already gathered on every human being that's ever been on one of their platforms. Paid traffic is now the ability to, I'm hungry for sweet corn, I'm going to go to the store and buy it. And I got sweet corn. Grow it yourself, buy it at the store, okay? It's the same corn. Now, what happens though is based on either one of those things of the traffic, I send them there. I'm going to give you an example. I took the time to write a short PDF style book called Rich in Energy, that when I put posts out there, and I'm going to show you some examples of that, I would put that out there. I would target the people that I'm looking for, people that I wanted to attract to my business, that wanted to make a residual income, wanted to make, larger sums of money kind of thing. And I would send them to get a free report, free download of my book. So I capture their information. I then email them a handful of either videos, posts, things like that. I typically love to send short videos in my rapport building process. That way they learn who they're going to be in business with, because people join you If they know you, like you, and trust you, they buy from you. If they know you, like you, and trust you, right? Then you make your proposal. So what I did is simply this. I had either paid organic traffic, went to a landing page where they opted in. I built some rapport. At the last part of the rapport was a proposal to join our marketing team, to where they could, enroll with our company for free. We ran them through some free email some trainings on some videos, and they came out the other side. So in an essence, I'll give you an example, right? Is everything that I take of, and if you want, you can think about this as your main recipe page. Okay, we have like our own website, our Facebook page, and so on. And then what we figured out how to do is distribute the same piece of content in multiple platforms, like all of the podcast stuff, all of the print things we can do, and all of the social platforms. So I might make, take the same video and repurpose it in 4 or 5 different blog posts, put it on 4 or 5 different channels. I then publish it on Spotify, iTunes, on our podcast, and so on. You get the idea, right? So what happens is I'm using small pieces of content now, okay? Small pieces of content, and I distribute them on the multiple platforms. So I might make a post that I put on our Facebook page, and I publish it on Facebook. I then I might make a blog post and publish it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. And then I pulled, like as an example, I pulled the audio from our interview I did with my buddy Chad about our launch, and I put it on and I distributed it on our podcast, on Spotify, on our iHeartRadio, on iTunes. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the content. Okay. And let me give you an example here. I used a blog post. Inside the blog post was the video. So I got a little teaser. If I wanted to, I can use paid traffic to get that. I posted it on all these things, and all roads lead to this post is really what I was trying to do. So I was taking these people, anybody that this relevant post content was on these platforms. When they clicked on it, it took them to our website. I kind of call it the mothership. Anytime you have your website is kind of your call to action specific page. You can either send them directly to the page, or obviously I would send them directly to the post. And in the post, I gave them a couple call to actions. That's where a lot of people miss it. I always have call to actions of any kind of every time in any post that I put out there. Okay. So again, we just are distributing posts over and over and over and over. Okay. And it's not hard to do. Like I use a thing called Spreaker for my audios. Spreaker is very cheap. It's like only maybe 50 to $100 a year. And what it does is it allows you can download your audio from you make a YouTube video or whatever you make. You download the MP3 audio file, you go to Spreaker and you literally click upload, and it will distribute it, syndicate is what they call it, to all your other channels or all the other things that you are associated with. So it'll push it out to iHeartRadio. It'll push it out to the iTunes and so on, Spotify. I then take, obviously, some of my posts or audios, and I will get them transcribed into a PDF that I can use as something that I can give out, or I might even turn it into, an email post, that kind of thing. There's a really cool software out there. I forgot to put it in here, called printfriendly.com. I think it's printfriendly.com. You can go to any post that you make. So if you took the video, transcribed it, turned it into a blog post, so it's mostly written. If you wanted to turn that instantly into a PDF, you can go to Print Friendly, click on it. It will convert the entire blog post or any blog post into a PDF. You could literally take multiple those things and put them together. Now you actually have created a book without even realizing it, right? Now, the next thing that I do is this, is any content that I've put out there, it just kind of starts to self-distribute. But then what I do next is the content that I know that I have a call to action that I have to get people in front of. That's when I amplify it using Google, Facebook, and YouTube. So what I'm doing now is I might post something and then push it out there a little harder. Like this image right here was when I was originally, this was 3 or 4 years ago when I launched this one on how to get commercial energy, how to earn a residual off of it, becoming an energy broker. 8,500 views 3 years ago. I use a little bit of money to amplify that, to put it in front of the right people, which attracted people to the call to action that I say in that video, direct them to where to go. And now we've signed them up. So take a screenshot of this. I'm going to walk you through this. This is pretty cool because this is an aerial view of a customer journey, in my opinion. All right. So what I typically do, and I should put an image right here, but what I typically do is let's say I have a blog post about how to make money in solar as an advisor, right? Or commercial energy. And that's what this one is here, right here. What I do then is I make a post about it. And then I use these platforms to drive traffic to my landing page where they opt in, where I send them the sequence of videos, okay, or I deliver the book, but then I follow up. At the last part of the follow-up, I have a call to action. If they are interested in, hey, you read the energy book. It's obviously there's a lot of money in commercial energy. There's a lot of money in solar. You probably want to, see what's available out there for you. I then give them a full-blown presentation about why our company is something to do. And then if they're interested, they then enroll as a rep. And I even have the rep training automated. So then I take the rep and I have a few training videos that I walk them through, like 5 minutes each, explaining the whole process. And then at the end, we get them launched with a call. So what it looks like in reality is there's a, I believe this is a Facebook page. I probably should put my glasses on. Where is this? Yeah. So you can see this was a YouTube video ad I ran. This was another YouTube video ad I ran. So this was through Gmail. This was just a regular YouTube video. This was, I think this was a blog post. And then this was on Facebook. And then what I did is I drove traffic from these platforms to my landing page. Once they hit the landing page, this is what it looked like. This is exactly what they looked like. They opted in. I had a little bridge page thank you video when they opted in for the book saying, hi, thank you. As a bonus, here's what I'm going to do. And all I did was just make audios of each chapter. I just basically made audio videos with my phone and put them in a sequence, sent them to the final video where I had my call to action of, hey, we're looking for more agents, join our company. You can see how simple this is, right? This is the process. And once they join the company, once they're in, they now click on that to become certified and they go through a small little short training again. So this entire process, I've basically gone through and used content with all these things, driving people to a specific spot with every step is one call to action that takes them to be, like in this scenario, blog post, platforms, directly to it. They enroll in the boot camp. They go here. And if they want to be a rep with commercial energy, they can, but this is a solar boot camp and boom, we've got them signed up. All right. So let me see if I can stop the share, come live with you real quick. And so what it is it's an extremely simple process of just using content, multi-purposed on different platforms. And what you do is you just once or, you don't have to do it every day, but maybe at least once a week, create some new content that you put out there, then do with a strategy I just showed you where it gets redistributed, repurposed, multiple platforms, pushed out there. Because what'll happen is one good 30-minute piece of content can be repurposed and probably be splintered in a minimum of 15 to 20 things, then distributed on, if you added up all the social media platforms, maybe emails you send out, audio places you send it out, and so on, you're distributing it on probably 10 to 30 or 40 other places. And you can do that with each piece. Okay. So you can see how it just spider webs out there, so that all your messaging and your branding is out there, so that when somebody goes online, starts typing in ways to make money at home, and you've got lots of pieces of content out there that all connect to your mothership, which is your website or your call to action, that you potentially come up. Same thing with when you make, YouTube videos. You ever seen a video where it's suggested to somebody? Somebody goes and types in a YouTube search, solar advisor. Guess who should come up after I get this, as I get this thing rolling? How to become a solar representative, how to make money in solar. So I'll make blog posts, video posts, audios, things like that on those keyword terms, push it out there, and then I will amplify that content using some paid advertising. Pretty simple process, right? Because it all comes down to this. How much more fun is business if you're only talking to the right people at the right time about the right thing? Makes a lot of sense, right? Okay, so if you got questions or you're looking for some of the stuff that I have, I've got trainings on other things I can point you to. Just make comments below or wherever it is, share it with your friends, show them what it is. Go through this a few times because I think it's really good information. It's just a process, but as you go through it a couple times, test one thing and watch what happens. Just test one piece, make yourself one video, 15, 20 minutes long, and then do what I said on distribution through that. And you'll see how amazing it can be. And it'll get you thinking big picture. That'll really ramp it up out there. So anyhow, thank you very much for jumping on here. Appreciate everybody. And again, make comments, like this thing, share it, whatever. And I'll see you on the other video.